Morning students. So today we are going to learn the second chapter of our science book, that is microorganisms. So what we will learn in this chapter? We will learn that what do we mean by microorganism? Where does microorganism live? Types of microorganisms, microorganisms and us, and friendly microorganism as well as harmful microorganisms. So let's find out what is microorganism. So the organisms that are so small that they can only be seen through a microscope are called microorganisms or microbes. So microorganisms cannot be seen with the naked eye. Example, a bread gets grayish white patches during rainy season. Do you know what happened here? A mold or a fungi grew on that piece of bread during the rainy season. Okay, and that thing we can see with the help of a magnifying glass. So what is microbiology? The study of microorganism is known as microbiology. So microorganisms, we can find them in almost everywhere. Okay, so where we can find them? We can find them in hot desert, polar region, salt water, marshlands, and inside other organisms as well. Then we can also find the microorganism in the volcanoes, deep sea, and even in the vacuum. Do you know what is this? This is called geysers. We can find them in that thing also. Okay, they can tolerate a high temperature. We can find them in this kind of things. This is a very interesting thing. This is called the morning glory pool. Can you see the color? Bluish color. This is particularly for a microorganism that cause this kind of color. That particular microorganism is known as archaea. We will know about archaea later. Okay, so next one is classification of microorganisms, types of microorganisms. Okay, so there are 5 major groups of organisms that are as follows, that is bacteria, algae, protozoa, fungi and viruses. So now here can you see bacteria? This bacteria came from that archaea I told you about. Okay, archaea is a simple cell organ, but this bacteria came from that archaea. Okay, and that originate kind of 3.5 million years ago. Just imagine 3.5 million years. Okay, so next one is bacteria. Okay, so they are simple living organisms and mostly single celled. Okay, like the archaea, tiny organisms, but they live together in colonies of millions. Bacteria are found in different shapes. See here, there are different shapes. Okay, suppose this one is kind of circular. Okay, this is called actually coccus. Then there is also rod shaped, many shape are there. Okay, so we will learn about some example, that is Vibrio cholerae. This bacteria cause the cholera disease. Okay, you don't need to remember all the name of this bacteria, just for your information I put it here. Next, there is lots of variety of shapes of bacteria we can found in our environment. Next one is algae. So what is algae? Algae are simple plant-like organisms which are usually aquatic in nature. They are aquatic in nature. All right. So they contain cell wall and chlorophyll and can make their own food by photosynthesis. So algae can be unicellular or multicellular. Some common example of algae are diatoms, chlamydomonas and seaweed, and in your book there is also mentioned Spirogyra. Okay, so this is the example of Spirogyra. Okay, have you seen this thing in some nearby ponds? These are the example of Spirogyra. Okay, you can easily see it. Next one is protozoa. Okay, so these are unicellular microscopic organisms similar to the animals that can move about to capture food and are heterotrophic in nature. That means they cannot produce their own food. They are mostly aquatic in nature. Example are amoeba, paramecium, and some examples of protozoa. Okay, so here are some examples, you can find it. Alright, but remember, just you need to remember only one characteristics. You don't need to remember all of it. Okay, just remember any one characteristics of these microorganisms. Then there is fungi. Fungi, I was told you about the fungi or the mold which grew on the piece of bread. Okay, so they are plant-like organisms. They do not contain chlorophyll. Are called fungi. Fungi may be unicellular or multicellular and are found in warm and moist places. That is why it grew in the rainy season. Okay, they are moist loving microorganisms. So fungi can be heterotrophic, saprophytic or parasitic in nutrition. So as I told you, just remember any one characteristics of fungi. So example is yeast, rhizopus, mushroom or puffballs. Okay, so see here I have mentioned one fungi, that is penicillium or green mold. Okay, from this we will read later that we can extract antibiotics, that is known as penicillin. Okay, we will learn about it later. What is virus? Viruses are smaller than any known cell. Virus can only be seen with electron microscope. Virus can reproduce only inside the bodies of another organisms, which means they need a host. Now viruses are a bit tricky because of they are neither living or not even what? Non-living. Okay, they are in the borderline of these two. They are usually non-living, but when they attack a host and they penetrate the host, then they become what? Then they become actually living thing. Okay, so see, there is example, there is bacteriophage. Okay, and there is also some other viruses as well, that is human immunodeficiency virus or HIV virus. Okay, you also know that there is coronavirus as well. So this is about the virus. Next one is microorganism and us, and we will learn about the viral diseases later, okay, in this chapter. So microorganisms, I told you previously that they have advantages as well as they have disadvantages too. So disadvantages of microorganisms or microbes are they can cause diseases, can lead to food spoilage like the bread I told you. Then advantages of microbes, they are dairy products, insecticide, enzymes, antibodies and antiviral production, bread making, fertility of soil, steroids, alcoholic drinks, vitamin production, sewage treatment, biotechnology and research. Now you know what fact is, I showed you just the picture of bacteriophage, that is actually used in the biotechnology and research. Okay, scientists usually use those things in the research. So we will learn about some advantages from here, not all of it because of we don't have everything in our chapter. So let's find out what we will learn here. So useful microorganisms. Microorganisms are useful in food and beverage industry in making medicines and vaccines, in agriculture and in cleaning the environment. Okay, so in food and beverage industry, bacteria help us in making certain foods, like lactobacillus is a bacterium that sours milk and is used to make curd from the milk. Do you know how? Because of there is a protein present in the milk that is known as casein. Okay, that lactobacillus react with the protein present in the milk, casein. Okay, next one is yeast. Yeast is commonly employed in preparing food items like bread, cakes, idli, dosa or dhokla, etc. Yeast is also used in breweries for making wines by the process of fermentation. So we will learn about it in the next slide, that how it is happening. there is cleaning the environment. So microbes help to keep our environment clean by decomposing dead matter. The decomposed substance are recycled as these get reused from the soil by plants. Some bacteria decompose sewage and other waste in water. You have already learned in class 7 standard. So see, there is another thing, that is soil fertility. Okay, so what is it? So they are also used in cleaning up the environment. For example, the organic waste, vegetable peel, remains of animal feces, etc. are broken down into harmless and usable substance by bacteria. Okay, they eat those things and then it dissolves in our environment. Okay, which actually increase the what? Soil fertility. Okay. So recall, the bacteria are also used in the preparation of medicines. We already learned. Okay, well, we can make penicillin, some antibiotics, vaccines, etc. We will learn about it in details later. So in agriculture, they are also used to increase soil fertility by fixing nitrogen. So fixing nitrogen, we will learn it in the nitrogen cycle, which is in the end of the chapter. So useful microorganism, I have already discussed about it. See, so we have already discussed that where do microorganisms live, microorganism and us. We discuss about soil fertility, we discuss about curd and bread as well. Okay. So next one is half kg of flour, that is atta or maida. Add some sugar and mix with warm water. Add a small amount of yeast powder and knead to make a soft dough. What do you observe after 2 hours? Did you find the dough rising? You will find out the dough will rise. Do you know why? Because of the yeast reproduce rapidly and produce carbon dioxide during their respiration. So what happened? The bubbles of the gas fill the dough and it increase in its volume. That is the basic use of yeast in baking industry for making bread, pastries and cake. Okay. Next one, commercial use of microorganisms. So microorganisms are used for the large scale production of alcohol, wine, acetic acid, that is vinegar. So yeast is used for commercial purpose of alcohol and wine as well. For the production purpose, yeast is grown on natural sugars present in the grains like barley, wheat, rice, crushed fruit juices, etc. So these grains, they all contain the natural sugar. So what will happen? The yeast will what? Turn the sugar into alcohol by the process of fermentation. Okay, and then they will produce carbon dioxide. Alright, so see, here is another activity. Take 500 ml beaker filled up to 3/4 with water, dissolve 2 to 3 tablespoons sugar in it, add half a teaspoon of yeast powder to the sugar solution. Keep it covered in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. Now smell the solution. Can you get any smell? You will smell. So this is the smell of alcohol, as sugar has been converted into alcohol by yeast. Okay, this process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. So what is fermentation? The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Okay, see this one, sugar plus yeast. Okay, sugar plus yeast is equal to fermentation. Fermentation happen. Okay, and also there is CO2. Okay, CO2 will be released in this process. So next one is your homework. So read this chapter till you are taught till fermentation. So you will read till here. Okay, we will start with the medicinal use of microorganism on the next day. So read this chapter and just do this, fill in the blanks and correct answers. Okay, so this is all for today. Next day we will talk about the antibiotics. Okay, thank you students.